We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I don't know what was happening. My mic was working, but it stopped working. Anyways, welcome to another episode of 8 at 9 o'clock. After all the technical difficulties that we have been through. Again, for those of you that are joining for the first time, my name is Ahmad Saleem. I plan to do daily lives, hopefully 8 minutes at 8 o'clock. And the purpose is that we want to be able to remind ourselves and revive ourselves. This is predominantly for myself. I would want to go through these reminders myself, and it helps me stay grounded. And while I'm doing that, I thought, why not I share this with everybody else that is here online? So I hope that I'm able to actually work this out in a consistent manner. My promise to myself is I want to do at least 100 days of every single day lives, whether it is from my phone or my studio that you see right now, which is technically my bedroom. Anyhow, today's live is a little bit connected to the previous one. I talked about mental health previously, and the whole idea in the previous episode that I did was that we want to talk about this awareness, right? There has to be this awareness that, mental health is a genuine issue that we're facing, and every single one of us, we face this in our lives. We may not be completely aware of it. Now, with the current situation, with all the craziness that is happening around us, it becomes quite easy for us many times to get lost in the conversation, and it becomes very easy for us to get sucked into negativity, and then we feel like all hell is breaking loose. We have no idea, we've got no control over anything, everything was a plot and all of this nonsense. And in all of this mess, it's very important for us to stay grounded. Very important for us to stay grounded. And how do we do that? How do we go about staying grounded during these difficult times? I came across this verse, and as I have mentioned before, days will be just talking, days I'll be sharing a hadith, days I'll be sharing a verse, or maybe a small passage from a book that I have. Today's verse that we want to talk about is very important to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. He says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Amazing. Seek help through patience and prayer. وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. That this salah, it is لَكَبِيرَةٌ. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have stopped like that. لَكَبِيرَةٌ. It is very big. It's cumbersome. It's a burden, except for the people, al-khashi'in, the ones that are humble, the ones that have khushu'. And why did I pick up this? So oftentimes the key for seeking help, the way we can attain help is through sabr, patience. And sabr is defined as something in which you don't complain about things. So when you are hit with a calamity, you return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you try to connect yourself to Allah, but you don't complain about it. La jaza'a fiha. You don't go around talking to people, oh my God, look at what happened. These guys were so unjust to me. None of that. You take it inside. As Yaqub alayhi salam said, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي. That all I do is I take my sorrows, I take my complaints, and I put them in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ. That seek help with patience. And the second thing is salah. Now, the topic for today is, why is salah such a burden on us? And as I was researching for this, I came across beautiful passage. And this passage I'm going to read. This is from a book, and I have my book in front of me over here. A small passage. It's a small portion from one of the pious predecessors, Ibn Jarir al-Tabari. He mentions in his tafsir for this, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. That this salah is a burden except for the ones that are humble. What does he say? He says, وَإِنَّمَا أخبر الله جل وثناء أن الصلاة كبيرة على هذه صفته. That salah is very big, difficult on certain people. لأن من كان غير موقن بميعاد, the one who does not have iman, he does not have yaqeen that he is going to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ولا مصداق بمرجع ولا ثواب ولا عقاب. Neither does he have any he's like, yeah, it's very feeble for him, the fact that he's ever going to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's like a faint memory for him. وَلَا ثَوَابَ وَلَا عِقَابَ. And he doesn't care. There's no thawab, no iqab, no punishment, no reward. Nothing is motivating this person. فَالصَّلَاةُ عِنْدَهُ عِنَاء وَالضَّلَالِ. That person, for him, salah becomes like, why are we doing this? This is ana, like this is so difficult for me. وَالضَّلَالِ. Like, why are you wasting your time? Why are you praying like asatirul awwalin? These are all fables and stories of the people of the past. Why are you doing all of this, right? And then he says, لأنه لا يرجو بإقامتها وإدراك نفعها. He does not even wish that he wants to pray because he has no hope for reward. He doesn't care about any of this. For him, it's just this world, and this is an extra item on his topic, on his thing. Why do I need to pray 5 times a day? Like, I have to go to work, and I have to make coffee for myself, and I have to do all of these things. And then on top of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants me to actually pray 5 times a day? Like, no. Excuse me. This is too difficult. We're living in the 21st century. It can't happen. Right? Then he says, لا يرجو بإقامتها وإدراك نفع ولا دفع الضر. He does not even attribute any benefit that he's going to gain from salah, and neither does he see salah as a repulsion for evil from him, right? Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That salah, it prevents you from evil, from fahisha, from things that are indecent. It prevents you from that. He doesn't believe in that. وحق لمن كانت هذه الصفة صفته أن تكون صلاة عليه كبيرة. And it is true that if anybody is of such that he doesn't have any yaqeen that he's going to return, doesn't see any benefit in reward, because for him everything is this world, then for that person definitely salah is going to be a very big burden and a cumbersome. So how do we make sure that it's not a burden on us? Khashi'een. We humble ourselves. We have khushu' for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ground ourselves with this knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is in control of everything, including your eye blinking, including your breaths, and everything that you and I do in our lives, it is in His control. And He, in His infinite mercy, has asked you and asked me that we should pray 5 times a day. And then we use that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to rejuvenate us, to reconnect us, and to bring us back to this like this life that we're living in, and then the life that we're looking forward to. This becomes our connection between the two. And as me and my wife, we were actually talking about it, and we came across this beautiful thing where it said, I think she came across a passage where it said, the reason we go to sleep in this world is because this life is extremely difficult, and your soul and my soul were never meant to be in this world. That's why after 24 hours, 36 hours, whatever, certain number of hours, no matter what type of a human being you are, you cannot stay alive, because it becomes very tiring for the soul to be in this realm, and it has to change its realm and go to a different realm where it actually belongs. And you and I and all of us, we belong to that realm which our souls transcends to. We know that when we go to sleep, our souls leave our bodies and goes up. And then for some, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives permission for that soul to come back. And for others, the soul never comes back. So this life is difficult, and we can seek help with 2 things. Being patient, remembering that everything that you're going to come across, every difficulty, you're going to be rewarded for it. Jazakumullahu khair. I will see you all tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum. And if you liked this, I would definitely ask you to spread it with any of your friends. I'm sure there are people that are seeking some help. They're going through difficulties. Share this video with them. Like and subscribe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.